Hello, everyone. Welcome to WEEZCAST. Today, I am your host with Caleb Chassis, with co-host
Aiden Morden
and co-host
Stephen Prindler
and special guest
Bethany.
Today, we will be listening to OK Human. Over the years, this album has been known. In 2020 was a bad year, and we needed something fun and exciting, so Rivers gave us OK Human, which is what some of us needed. Luckily, since Van Weezer was postponed, Rivers came up with this. So now we have it. We will go listen to it. We will be right back. Alright, we are back from listening to OK Human, and our overall thoughts, Aiden.
Wait, what? Overall thoughts?
Or, you know what I mean.
For all my favorite songs?
Yes.
Well, I'm just going to say all my favorite songs is one of my absolute favorite songs. It is my number one most played song on Spotify, even though it only came out less than 3 years ago. Musically, lyrically, it's fantastic. It's fun. One of Weezer's very finest. I love the group vocals. I actually noticed on the on the vinyl, there's group vocals in the background that I never really noticed before. Mm-hmm. But they kind of popped out more on the vinyl. I like too that the lyrics are very focused on being introverted, because I feel like as I get older I've become more introverted. Like I used to be very social and like going out, and now I don't like as much, or it kind of takes a lot more to get me doing that. But one of the lyrics that's kind of interesting is that he wants to be on an island, but he'd miss the sound of sirens.
That's beginning of the end in Island of the Sun.
So it's kind of like the sirens being representative of just like all the chaos where people are, but also he kind of wants to be more reserved and by himself. The drums in the bridge, whatever Pat's doing there, it almost sounds like the drums are like falling behind, or like they're tripping over themselves, but it sounds so good. I absolutely love it. Everything about the song is perfect. That's pretty much all I have for it. The outro too, though, the drums. I feel like the drums really pop on this album. Some of the albums, there's specific things that really shine, and I feel like the drums are definitely one of them on this whole album.
I agree, Steven.
Me next. Okay. When I first heard the song, around when it first came out, you showed it to me, Aiden. I remember I got in your car. I don't remember where we were going, but I remember you were bringing me somewhere. I got in your car, and you were like, Weezer just released this song. Listen to it. It's amazing. I'm like, okay.
That's so me.
Yeah. At the time, I was not a big fan of Weezer. I'm not saying I'm a big fan of Weezer now.
Wow.
But no, I'd barely listened to Weezer. You know, the songs that I have heard were whatever. So I wasn't expecting much. And then it started. I was like, it sounds kind of weird. It doesn't sound like a rock band. And because this album is so different, and it's with an orchestra. And so I was listening with an open mind, and listening to the lyrics, I was like, wow, this kind of sounds pretty relatable. And as the song progressed more and more, I'm like, wow, this is very relatable, and the music is gorgeous. So I just fell in love with it that day, and ever since, whenever I hear the opening refrain with the flute, it just makes me smile.
So
it makes me happy. It's I don't know, the sound of it is so it's just nice. Yeah.
Bethany?
I'm actually kind of embarrassed to talk. I didn't like it.
No.
Cut. We're done.
Girl! If you're wondering.
There's so many layers. There's so many layers to that joke.
Let me explain. So, one thing I did love about this album, I have a musical background, and I love the transitions. They blew my mind. They were so seamless, and every time that he started a song, it was just like a pop of color and something new. So I have to say that of him, I love his musicality. This song though in particular, I don't know, I felt like he was, I don't want to say it now because...
No. Please.
Go ahead.
We've had some really bad people diss Weezer, so don't worry.
I think he means we've had some... they weren't bad people, they just dissed it really bad. But it's okay, please.
Okay. Well, I will start off with my favorite point. He had a very medieval intro. Like, I thought I was in, like, a caravan in the way back in the day, which I love it. I was like, woo, it's kind of medieval. Lots of emotion. I really felt him going up and down and up and down. I could really feel it. However, only reason why I didn't like it because I felt like he was complaining about life and life was not going well for him, and he's like, I don't like all the songs make me sad, and I don't know, like, it made me feel sad, like, oh, your life sounds really sad.
That makes sense. That's a good reason to not like it. I'll give it that.
I thought you just didn't like it from the sound of it. But
No, musical, great, but it felt like he was having a really hard time in life, and he's singing, I'm so sad, my song is sad, my life, what's going on? But then it got better as the album went on, which I'll talk about later.
Cool.
So it was, yeah, good.
That's very Weezer-y.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
all right, so I love the horns in the beginning. It's so like warming, and it's like
the medieval intro.
like
Are we...
all my favorite songs.
Oh.
The horns in the beginning. It's so like,
Wait, are there horns at the beginning?
The medieval.
or not the horns, but like there's kind of like horns and like I don't know if it's like a whistle or whatever it is.
Horns come in at the end.
It's a cello.
Whatever it is in the beginning. that weird
The
sound.
instruments.
The
flute?
weird.
It's
Isn't
the medieval.
it doesn't sound like a flute though.
Well, it's not like
It sounds like more of one of those like little.
It sounds like a flute.
It sounds like an accordion. No, not an accordion, or an organ. It sounds like an old pipe organ.
Pipe organ
kind of.
that's through like a bunch of filters.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I always thought
so
it was a
it's so
flute.
warming. It feels like on a winter night
Okay.
when you put that in on a record. That's how like it feels. But also like I love how like the violin and the drums just pick up in the song when he starts singing, and love the chorus. It's so like fun and just it's great. Love the lyrics. Love the last chorus because the last chorus he just sings and everything stops except for the violins, and it's just it picks back up. It's such a great song. I love it. Yeah.
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
not bad.
Not
But
bad.
we rated out of 5, so
You know it's a 5? Aloe gobi.
uh
It's also a dish. So.
well,
Oh,
I
is
guess
it?
so you'd have to
Yeah.
rate
Oh,
it
I thought
twice.
it was-
Once for the song, once for the dish.
That's what I meant, the dish. I haven't tried it, but I was making... Okay, never mind. Never mind. Aiden.
Oh,
Oh, I
okay.
was hoping I'd go first.
You want to go first? Go
Please.
ahead.
Go.
Okay. All right. So great transition. Again, love. This whole album, I guess because I'll talk about it a lot because I wrote a lot about this down. It felt like he was really speaking about his life, and I would see like different images of him going through his life. So the first one, I kind of pictured him like starting off and like life is not so good and da da da. This song though, love the cello. My favorite part when it went tick 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 tick. I was like, this is so good. I was so happy. I wonder what his inspiration was for this song though. It kind of got me because he's kind of asking himself like what to do. It felt like he was in the middle of like a life transition.
It was...
He's gonna say what I was gonna
Okay,
say.
so this was recorded during COVID, so he felt like everything he did was basically just the same
Oh.
old dual routine.
It's the middle of transition.
Yeah.
I hit on the ding 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 ding. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly though, great middle instrumental part, and he had like a minor chord, and it hit my heart so heavy. It was great. I'm done now. Thanks.
Steven.
I don't really like this song that much, mostly because he says OMG throughout the chorus like so many
And
times.
something else.
Actually, no, that it's actually gosh darn, but the lyrics misinterpreted. It's true.
It's
It
true.
is. It's gosh darn.
You gotta listen to it again.
Okay. I will.
But anyways, no, that's one thing that I don't like about it. That's the main thing I guess I don't like about it, but also I find it just kind of annoying. Like he's singing about how life is dull and routine. It's like, yeah, it's kind of how the song is.
All right, everybody. Steven was trashing Alu Gobi a little bit. We just had some technical difficulties.
And I changed shirts. Yay.
I too changed shirts.
We changed glasses.
Yeah, we all changed a little bit in the 0
To go
seconds
along
it
with the
took to
personal
get here.
songs.
I was talking about Alu Gobi. I was saying I didn't like it too much. I do like it, but I also don't like it. So it's not that the bad outweighs the good, but the bad just makes the good not really worth it to me. So I usually skip Alu Gobi and don't bother.
I love how it fades into the song from all my favorite songs into Aloe Gobi. I love the chorus and how alive and catchy it is. It's so fun. Also, I love the piano. Instead of, your average guitar solo that Weezer does, it's piano, which is also really unique comparing to what they usually do. And that last chorus is how it all dies down again, and then everything builds back up. So good. Love this song. Yeah.
Would somebody mind grabbing me my notes from right there? Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We had to switch to my phone recording because of our technical difficulties. That's okay. Wait, it's my turn, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think the drums really shine in this song. This is another big one for the drums. The piano in verse 2, absolutely fantastic. It is kind of relatable as far as things being mundane in life. If you kind of do the same thing every day, it's always good to shake it up. Even a dish like aloo gobi gets boring after a while if you have it every single day, which he did actually. He said that before one of the acoustic performances, that he used to have aloo gobi from the same place all the time. And yeah, and the layered vocals after the build, I literally wrote Mamma Mia and the outro into Grapes of Wrath, which we'll get to next.
Steven?
Okay, I'll pull up my notes on that one. Sorry. I lost my notes. Technical difficulties. Okay. Grapes of Wrath. As soon as the song starts, you can tell it's going to be amazing. Because it just starts and it's like, oh, we're going right into it. And the whole song is like driven by the bass. And it's like, it just keeps going and going. It's like, and the violins just accenting every time. So it's like the really low drive and then the high like overtones that keep pushing it. And the violins swoop in every time the bass stops. And it's just like, wow. I don't know, this song is just like, it just feels so good to listen to. And then the lyrics are pretty good. They're pretty cool too. Just about getting really into Audible. During that time when it was like everyone was finding a new hobby, and a lot of people would get into different things, and I guess his was Audible, just listening to audiobooks all the time. So he references a lot of different books, and one of them is Lord of the Rings, which is
Frodo Jones?
Frodo Jones.
Photo Jones.
I love Lord of the Rings. It's my favorite. So
Same.
I find that pretty cool. Yeah, it's a great song.
Bethany?
I actually didn't notice any audiobooks in it. So that was actually really
What?
funny.
You missed the whole song.
That's funny because I didn't know about that for the longest time either. So
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate his VeggieTale reference. It took me back, and I was really happy for a couple minutes there because like Grapes of Wrath, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's that song. Is that what it was?
Grapes of Wrath is the VeggieTales episode is based off of,
Yeah.
or
like
the
angry piece.
like off of a book.
Oh.
Like actually, I think the title.
right.
I don't think the story is, but he's actually referencing the book. Probably not VeggieTales. We can hope.
Actually, the book gets it from the Bible. The Bible's the original source of the Grapes of Wrath.
Yes.
That's where VeggieTales comes from. That's where the book comes from.
Yeah.
From the Bible to the book to VeggieTales to Weezer.
Yeah.
What a tangled web
Weezer
we
goes
weave.
for
what's
It did.
happening to me?
It definitely has that angry vibe. I could picture him in a car cruising down and like, "Argh," I'm being like Grapes of Wrath. It was really great. I had a good time in the passenger seat listening to him. But I don't know, like he got kind of angry halfway through, and I felt for him like 3/4 of the way. But instrumental was fantastic, super heavy, and it was great. I liked it. I would listen to it again in a heartbeat. Especially on a day when I'm not feeling the greatest. Grapes of Wrath. It's good. I really liked it. Is that a good answer?
Yeah.
All right, what's your opinions, boy?
What a weird way to ask me to speak.
Yeah.
So I really like actually some of the stuff that in the moment I just put in the notes. So I wrote the brass all coming in with 4 crying emojis. Because it's so beautiful. It's like the triumphant horns before one of the best songs you'll ever hear in your entire life. The strings with 3 exclamation points. This one's actually my second most played song of all time on Spotify. He's got some cool references. I like that he references 1984, especially during COVID and how evil the government is, and like being knowledgeable.
Battling Big Brother. Yeah.
Battling Big Brother versus, and I think whenever he says like versus binging zombie hordes, like binging Walking Dead on Netflix or something, it's like he's filling his mind with information instead of watching TV, because he reads books and his wife watches TV.
He listens.
Death to
to
False
books.
Metal reference.
Oh yeah, it is actually.
This one also had additional vocals I noticed on the vinyl, and the bridge back into the chorus, the Frodo jonesing for the ring. Oh my gosh.
What's
It's
happening to you?
beautiful. It's so good. It's just incredible. Absolutely.
It's like you're walking down Montana.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's all I have to say about that song.
All right, so I know you won't agree with me, but I think this is the best song on OK Human.
That's shocking.
This is my favorite song.
I did not know that.
All my favorite
Really?
songs is really close, but Grapes of Wrath I feel like is a bit better.
Are you
'Cause-
actually shocked by that?
Yeah, I had no idea that he liked it so much.
you
I
kidding
knew
me?
that. He used
Like-
to play it on repeat like constantly. You didn't know that?
No.
I didn't even know I did that.
There's a phase you went through where like all he would play was Grapes of Wrath.
Was it? I did not.
Wait
even
a
know
minute.
that.
Oh, I thought we were moving on to numbers. I thought you were talking about numbers and saying that
I
was your
haven't
favorite
had my
song.
opinion yet.
I'm not shocked. I just got confused because I'm not hosting.
Numbers is a great song though. Okay, so I love the beginning, how it just hits hard. It's like the adrenaline, like some of other Weezer songs, if you know what I mean. The chorus is so fun too, and when it sinks back into verse 2, it's also like really good. I like the way how it sinks in. It's like upbeat, and then it kind of slows down a little bit. And the bridge is so like, it's so calm down and soothing, and it just builds you back up. This whole album is just really good for punching you in the face. If you know what I mean.
I do
It-
not
it-
know what you
I
mean.
know what he
I
means.
don't know.
It basically means that it builds you up, and then it cuts off, and then it gets back.
It's like a
into
roller
it.
coaster ride.
Yeah.
The whole album.
It's like you go up, and you're going up to the top, and you're waiting, and then it brings you down.
Punches you in the face.
Makes me want to eat ice cream.
Wow.
And then yeah, like the last course, like when
wanna
it's
eat
when it's in the
ice cream.
bridge, and then it stops, and then it's going back into the chorus. It's just really good. I really like it. Yep, and I like how it transposes into numbers really well.
Transposes
great.
into numbers.
Would you like to start with numbers?
Sure thing, boss man.
Numbers.
Okay, so I actually have a new appreciation for this song. This song I have never liked. Like, I like the theme of the song, but I kind of don't like the verses because I feel like, I mean, his singing in general, people find off-putting and not that good. I love his voice, but even for me, this song, the beginning of it especially, is kind of like, it sounds really sloppy. The way that he says, try to measure up to somebody else. Like the way he's kind of cramming all the words in there, and it doesn't flow nicely with the strings. It feels like bumbled and humbled. No, it autocorrected to humbled. I don't know what it's supposed to say. And rushed, and it doesn't go with the strings. But then Pat comes in to save the day with the drums.
With
But the thing actually that I really like is the chorus. I never knew the lyrics of the chorus of the song. I've listened to it so many times, but I never noticed that he's saying, I hear the sadness in your laughter. And I actually like listening to it and reading it, I actually felt like a little bit of emotion from it, which I've never experienced from that song before. But just the I don't know. It's like the quaintness to it, or the closeness of singing to somebody who he's there for, like obviously somebody he cares about, and them being sad. And they're laughing and having a good time. But I don't know. I actually really enjoyed it. And then the vocals at the end were kind of trash, though. But it's still a really good song, and new appreciation.
Steven.
Yes. Every time I have to clear my throat. I actually also have a new appreciation for the song. Not that I didn't like it so much before, although I pretty much agreed with everything you said, how it sounds sloppy and stuff. But I also like the theme, because it's not really something that I've ever heard about before, how like this whole numbers thing is like out to get you. So really interesting in that way. But I always loved the chorus because it just sounds really beautiful to me. Especially, I think the second time when the harmony comes in and they're like la 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 in the background as he's doing the long notes. And him just saying, "Yeah, I hear the sadness in your laughter." It's such a kind of mysterious and sad thing to say. I don't know, it's intriguing. So it's cool in that way. I really like the chorus, but not really the verses. But the whole song is interesting.
I think I have to agree. The lyrics for me weren't inviting me in to listen closely, but it was a sad song. This is a song that I would play if I'm really sad. I want to dance in the street under a lamppost. I could totally do that, like Singing in the Rain or like the Newsies. Have you guys seen the Newsies with like Christian Bale? Yeah. So this was a great song for I'm gonna go dance in my sorrow. It's sad, but musically wise, there was a suspense in the middle of it, and he was singing, and it was like dun, 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 and it stopped, and I thought, oh, it's done, and then all of a sudden it came back in, and I was like, whoa, blew me away. I was like, very well done, very well done. It kept me on my seat, and it was very like emotionally heavy. So, yeah, it was good.
I love the way Rivers sings in the song. How it's like, the way how he does it is just so calming. And I don't know. I really like this album, so I have a lot of good things to say. I've heard enough times to appreciate it so much. The drum beat also really recovers the song in a way, because like it really fills it up, and the specific drum beat that he's doing really like it makes the song funner, but it also doesn't ruin it. So it's really good choice. Also, I like the line, "Look at him, look at her, they got a million likes," because that's what our whole world is around and involved now. So it's really nice to hear stuff like that going around, saying that's all our... Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Cool.
But, yeah. Are you waiting to play your piano?
Absolutely. Sure, I'll start this one. This song also starts out sloppy, but not as bad as the previous one. And it has a really good variety. I find this song kind of takes you on a little bit of a trip. The pace of the song changes a lot, and the mood of the song changes a lot, and it's kind of like when he plays his piano, it's like a whole other world. And my notes concerning Pat, I have a note about Pat on a lot of these, is holy crap, Pat back at it again. Because the drums are just so good. And also I wrote, watch out Rivers, Kim Jong-un will be after you. Because he doesn't take too kindly to people talking about him.
I recognize that, yeah.
So that's all I really have to say about that one. It's a pretty decent song. It's just got some weaker parts to it.
Bethany?
Oh, thank you. Okay. But I put my notes here. He needs to shower more, because there's a lyric, and it was like, I haven't showered in 3 weeks.
Well, he needs to use Dr. Squatch more. That's what he needs to do.
Yes.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us now.
So I felt for him. I felt really for him that he hadn't showered in 3 weeks. Made me a bit concerned, but...
Well, I think he showered. He just didn't wash his hair.
That's fair. That's fine. That's fine.
Did he say he hadn't showered or he hadn't washed
He
his
said,
hair?
I haven't washed my hair in 3 weeks.
I thought I put... okay, well...
Which
showered.
isn't as bad.
Maybe he shaved his head.
Maybe.
And he didn't need to wash his hair for 3 weeks.
I mean...
That's thinking overboard, but
Actually,
sure.
Really good thought. Mr. Weezer, did you shave your head during this
Mr.
song?
Weezer.
Comment down below, Rivers. We want to hear from
During
you.
lockdown, we all did some crazy things. It's okay.
Yeah.
I almost cut
No
my own
judgment.
hair.
No judgment.
Is that why your wife was downstairs?
She was upstairs.
or whatever.
She was upstairs with the kids in the song. This kind of reminded me of La La Land. Did it kind of? I had that feel. What you said was perfect. It was spot on. You said it was it took you like into memory. It was almost like two distinctions in the middle of the song, and he was reminiscing like the kids are upstairs. I haven't washed my hair in a long time. And then when the piano got really softer, it sounded like he was kind of rethinking of all the good times that he had with his wife and his kids, and you can hear that playing. And I was so struck, although it did feel a little bit sloppy. However, it was like, kind of soulfully sweet. And I'm hoping you use Dr. Squash to shower. Those are my comments for the song.
Steven?
Honestly, the only part I don't like about this song is the first verse, where it's like, I don't know, like he says, my wife is upstairs, my kids are upstairs. Like, what is this, a nursery rhyme? But then the chorus comes in and it's like, oh, it sounds pretty good. Playing my piano, and then it's all dramatic. It's like, okay, it still doesn't have like much depth to it, but it sounds good. And then the second verse, sorry, I actually love the second verse, because then it just swings into this whole different melody, where it's like this kind of swing, jazzy little.
That's because the drums.
And yeah, so then it's like, man, I really like this during the second verse. And then the chorus again, pretty much the same as the first time. It's just, okay, yeah, solid except for the first verse, pretty much.
Agreed.
The vocals in the chorus I really like as well, because it like swings, ooh, and it goes down, and then does it again.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I feel like he did a really good job at going decently high and still keeping most of his vocals together. Also, yeah, verse 2, it stops, and then it goes into the drum beat, and it changes the entire song, and it's such a fun way to make the song even funner. I love it. Yeah. Yep.
I already shared about this one.
I know. I don't have a segue though.
You don't have a segue?
I don't have a segue.
Well, you're responsible for saying something about a mirror image.
Are you in the mirror image? I don't know.
We don't need to have a segue.
You're right, it doesn't have to.
If you can't think of one.
The cheesier the better on WEEZCAST. Okay, so Mirror Image, it sounds like a nice song about his wife, but I don't know. Because, like, he's singing nice words, and then he says something about... And it sounds like he probably, when he was demoing this song, he just took the demo recordings and kind of threw them in there at the end. Because it's really sloppy, too. It's,
That's
like,
what I was
clearly
thinking.
like a phone recording that he added in of him saying, "Heaven can't save this man."
Yeah, it was really
kind of
weird.
like weird and sad, but maybe there's hope for Rivers. Hopefully, I want to hear a Weezer worship album one day, because that would be about the best thing I ever heard in my entire life.
Make it happen.
That's all I have to say about it.
If you want it, you can have it.
Ooh,
But you gotta reach out there and grab it.
Ooh. Get it?
Yeah. All right. Steven,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
I'm pretty sure you already know my thoughts.
Yeah, I know your thoughts, but the audience don't know.
I always said that this isn't a real song because it lasts a total of 45 seconds. And then it doesn't end there, but it pretty much ends there, and then it goes into his phone recording of him just like rambling weird things about heaven turning its back on him. And then the total length of the song is 1 minute and 27 seconds. But it's like, how is that a real song? Even if you take the whole thing, 1 minute and 27 seconds, that's short. But only half of that is like actually a song. And it's not even like a coherent song. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So
You're trashing hard on this song.
I could say worse things. Like, it's not the worst song I've heard. It doesn't sound bad. It's
You're right. Knockdown Dragout is worse.
no, actually, Knockdown Dragout is great.
Oh,
Way
Knockdown
better
Dragout
than
is
this
worse.
But anyways, No, like it's not a bad sounding song or anything. It's just it's super short and like feels really pointless. So that's all.
Cool.
Ditto.
Ditto.
That's all I have to say.
Shortest song
I
comments in
agree
WEEZCAST
with
history.
most of what you say, and I knew you were gonna say it, so that's why I didn't add anything. It's pretty short. Did I even have? Okay. It is really cool how it has like really fast drum rudiments. It's almost like they want something on their album, but they don't take it seriously. So that's just like going all over the place in between. Remember when I was doing that during practice, like that really fast.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of, like just having fun in it.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, that's all I have. At least he's not on a screen.
Wow. Are mirrors screens?
I don't have my screen. I just have paper. It's just that is on my cue.
Yeah, but
Okay.
not everyone is then.
Oh, before we flip to side B of the record, I just want to make sure that that's still recording video.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's probably a good idea based on the technological attacks that we've been facing.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
What was interesting? What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
I'll listen to it on the recording
He
after.
called you a woman.
Really?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
I didn't call him a woman. I said ma'am.
that's a woman.
Whatever, man. Okay, flip to side
Is a
B.
woman.
Okay, Mirror
Yeah.
Image is kind of like weird and sad, and then you flip the record, and then it's like, what up? We're back at it. What a vibe. Great surprise. Talking about people being on their technology. It's pretty accurate. I always say when people are on their phones, this says a lot about society. I usually make sure I don't have my phone out when I say it, but everybody is really always on their screens. And I like that he says, I miss my friends, I miss my family, because he's kind of just portraying that he feels like nobody's paying attention to him because they're looking at their phones, which can often be the case. So, everyone moves into the cloud, kind of like a clever lyric,
And
because
after
the digital cloud. But I don't have too much else to say other than like, wow, what a banger. It's a great song.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. The intro to the song is fantastic, and then so is the rest of it. The lyrics are like, they're okay, like they're true, but it's also like, okay, it sounds like my grandfather wrote this song. Like, everyone's on their screens all the time. Like, it's not personal, Grandpa. It's just that's how the world works these days. You know, that's how we get our information, and we're expected to know things. But anyways, it is unfortunate that that's the state of the world, but unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it. So, stay on our screens. We must, for the most part. In any case, I digress. The music for the song is great and it's fun. Whether you like the lyrics or not, it's just a fun song.
I'm glad you thought so. Because my opinion's different.
That's okay.
So the first side was the first songs that we talked about. When we switched over to the second side, I honestly thought it was a whole new album. I found that there was a huge disconnection, and I was kind of sad for
That's
that.
because it was all shorter. Well, that was part of it.
I think it was more because this one he went right into a lot of like drumming beat. This song, I felt like I was a teenager wearing a leather jacket. Like I had this rebel kind of feel to it. But for all of the songs being so personal, and then to go to this rebel jacket leather feel, it was just so different for me. But I didn't like it.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize.
Yeah, it's okay.
Musically speaking, it was good. Great drum and bass. But yeah.
I love the strings in this one, and the
So
chorus. The chorus, especially when he says screens. I love it.
Which time?
Just
all 50 of them?
sure, but like, yeah, I love the way how everything comes together. I love this entire album. It's a bit short though. Like this side is way shorter, so that's like a little bit of a I mean, I didn't even realize that some of these songs were as short as what they were. I don't know, but yeah, they might be short, but at least they're not a bird with a broken wing.
Yeah. Good segue.
I don't know, but
I liked
you wanna
it.
go?
Well, we're making progress. I think we're getting better.
I'm assuming
I've done better ones.
Since you're looking at
You
me,
have.
I'm next.
Yeah.
Or first. Did
Yeah,
he?
yeah, you go.
Oh, okay, perfect.
You go last now that you did that.
What the heck, man?
And you go be after me.
Ooh, maybe I better not go first. I didn't write some good stuff about this song.
You
No,
don't like this
That's
song?
fine.
go.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't mean to. I'm not trying to.
No, you're not gonna offend
This
anybody.
is the purpose of WEEZCAST.
Not gonna offend anybody.
Multiple opinions.
I'll take offense, Mr.
If
Weezer.
if everyone shared the same
Don't even
opinion,
candy coat it. Don't hold back.
Oh, okay.
Honest
well,
opinions only.
This was my second least favorite. And I'm really sad about that because I was really hoping that the title would be great because Adam Young, shout out, does a really great job in his Owl City song, but that wasn't the case. I don't know. There was no connection. It felt like he was just. The lyrics didn't make any sense. It was like he was talking about 5 different subjects. There was no connection. I did not have any connection to the song whatsoever. And at the end, I'm really sorry he went off key, and that I was like,
Oh, I heard that.
yeah, and I felt really bad. I'm like, oh, but music. But it does sound like he's pining after his sweetheart's heart, which is kind of nice.
It does.
But and then he talked about choking on a chicken wing, which is kind of cool and kind of sad.
It's a bird with a broken wing.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my second least favorite. My least favorite is next.
whoa,
And we'll get to that in a minute.
interesting.
That's very fair, actually. Okay, Steven.
Okay.
Yay.
I wrote that the song is kind of pathetic,
Oh, I'm not far off.
but okay, I'll high five you. But I saw something beautiful in it. I think there's a beautiful message in the song
Okay.
that he may or may not have been trying to portray, but that I saw anyways.
Beautiful.
That it's about being broken in this life in some way, either like literally crippled or facing some life-altering situation that just leaves you completely broken, and yet taking your new life situation and making something beautiful out of it, and taking a whole new stance on life, where before he was singing about how he would hunt his prey and him and his friends were killers, and now all he does is sing. And it's like he was serving his purpose before as a bird of prey, but with a broken wing he couldn't do that, so he found a new purpose in life, to sing and make beautiful music. So I just found like that metaphorical meaning to be really cool.
I take the chicken wing comment back. Cooking on it. That was so nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I just
Okay.
I
I like it.
kind of always like this song for that reason. Like I don't love it for really any other reason. Like he sounds pretty pathetic when he sings it, and musically it's not the best on the album, but it does have my favorite message in the whole album. That seems to be one of like hope and redemption. So I like that.
Well put.
Thank you.
Very nice.
What's really funny is I actually like this song. Yeah. Well, that's because I don't like every Weezer song, but this album, this is my top 3. I love this album so much. I don't have much to say about it, because it's also kind of short. I love the chorus once again, and the way he does the bridge, builds it back up. Always doing that in this album. Great.
So I get to go?
Yep.
I get a turn? Okay, cool. Steven, I feel like the message that you got out of the song that Rivers may or may not have intended is literally the entire purpose of the song. My opinion. I got it very clearly. This album, when Weezer's releasing a new album, I always stay up till midnight and I put on my Bose headphones and I listen to it and I read through the lyrics while I listen to it. And I just love that experience. And this one, I feel like it was like kind of a rough time when I listened to it, and I was really touched by the lyrics of like, being broken but still pushing through. And I really like even the way that the strings go at the beginning, how they almost flutter. It really paints the picture of like him being a bird in the sky and flying. And it matches the lyrics well. And then I like in verse 2 how he says about the stupid cat. I don't like that he calls the cat stupid because I love cats. But he says that the cat will never catch his melody. because like people will try to tear you down or kick you while you're down, but he's saying, you know, he's gonna keep on singing anyway, which probably he gets bullied because, let's be realistic, is Rivers Cuomo the best singer in the world? Or the most talented singer in the world? No. But is he the best in my eyes? Kinda, yeah. I love his voice, but I think that's he probably gets a lot of hate. So it's kind of neat. I like this song.
He's not a dead rose. That's the thing, no. Steve.
Good segue. Yeah. This one's like another kind of sad one, which I found is like a recurring theme in this album.
People do call this one Pinkerton too.
Do they?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
It's a thing.
I did not know that.
It's a thing.
I like that comparison because it's interesting. I'll have to think about it. Huh?
Pinkerton's Weezer's second album, and it's very loved and very hated.
Very
It's
controversial.
very sad.
Yeah.
It's very
okay.
depressing.
Yeah, most depressing album. You'd hate it, but
You would.
anyways, yeah, you would. But
The majority. Will.
I like the medieval like fantasy theme in this one. He talks about like he doesn't explicitly say anything like that. Like he doesn't say there's a dragon, but he says a winged beast with a crown of horns on its head, which is
Yeah, I noticed that.
sounds like a dragon. And then he talks about like his maiden who's been taken or killed and is like, and he's mourning, and so it's like it gives that cool kind of it turns on my imagination, and then the beat is also like really, I can't remember how it goes now, but I wrote down that it was a sick beat for this song that's like a sad and about dead roses, or is dead, not literally dead roses, but like a dead person, his lover supposedly, because he talks about like thinking about the future they could have had, and I'm guessing she was killed by a dragon, but
Yikes.
yeah, and he says he's crying over dead roses. Maybe she had roses in her hair, I don't know,
Maybe her name was Rose.
maybe. Oh, then it could be. Yeah,
It is.
Multiple roses.
yeah, different meanings of the word rose there, but yeah, so I kind of liked it. Yeah, it was just like interesting.
Well, like I said previously, this was my least favorite song. For
I want
that
to hear
reason.
about that.
That's fair because it used to be mine.
Because it's sad.
I think we used it at probably the best way it ever could have been put. It was medieval, but because he was pining over someone who died, it was really sad for me.
But that makes
Someone
you not like
obviously
the
did
song.
die. Yeah, like it felt very heavy and very dark, and I ate more chips while I was listening to it. I was really sad. I was emotionally eating. No, I didn't. But no, my least favorite song. I'm sorry, Mr. Weezer.
Mr. Weezer. Rivers Weezer.
Rivers.
It's better than Sheila though. So
True.
Is that not his name?
Huh?
Weezer.
No, his name is
Rivers.
Rivers.
get this, Rivers Cuomo.
That's cool.
Is it?
Mr. Rivers. That's his name.
Mr. Rivers' neighborhood is his Discord server.
Because he has an episode, or not, in a music video, where he has his own
Rivers?
It's his first name.
Rivers. Yeah,
What's his last name?
Cuomo.
Sorry, Mr. Como.
Okay. So you went, right?
just
Yeah, I
have
was
this-
Okay, so I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm the only one that hasn't gone.
Wait, I didn't go.
You didn't?
No.
He didn't. No.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, go.
Okay. So this song actually, I feel like, I don't think it's an amazing song, but I think that it is underrated. I feel like the song's I initially had forgotten about it and never really listened to it, but I think actually the music conveys a lot of emotion, and some of the lyrics are like, I don't know, they're not like the best lyrics, but it is really vibey and sad, and I have an appreciation for it. It's very poetic and beautiful, but also kind of like weird. Seems like a heartbreak song, and that's all I have to say about it.
So I don't know if you guys have ever pictured this, but the beginning of it sounds like an old movie, like when they have like those old microphones with like when they're playing horns and that, and it just has a certain way to it that makes it sound from an old movie. If you listen back to it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And then the way how the intense strings are playing, it brings it back in, so it kind of makes it feel like you're in an old sad movie, or like something just bad or something happened, and then it kind of picks up. And I love the chorus. Yeah. And then he also said raven, so bird with a broken wing, run raven run, raven.
Autumn reference.
Oh, he loves birds. Oh my.
He likes birds.
Add it
but
to
not
the
cats.
list.
I guess.
Uh,
He wants a dog. That's one of the songs on Winter.
and he
I Want
wants
a dog.
a cat.
Oh, he doesn't like cats, right?
I don't know.
He said stupid cat.
Well, he was a bird at the time.
That's true.
Well, everything
me.
happens for a reason. So
The cat was trying.
Can I
to
start this one?
yeah, go ahead.
My notes for everything happens for a reason.
So good.
There's no lyrics in this song. It's all right. But my only note is, did you just look at it?
No.
Okay. My notes are neat with a question mark.
Neat.
That's it.
You're supposed to do it in like neat.
Want to hear what I put?
Best song I've ever seen.
Let's see, where is it? I put whatever.
Neat. Whatever. What else we got?
I left it blank.
Wow, real creative.
I say it's
That's
decent.
okay, so did Weezer.
Neat. Whatever. Decent. And no
It's-
comment.
Yeah, it's decent because like it's a pretty cool. It's kind of like an opener for
You were in a
Here Comes the Rain,
different
except they don't want Here Comes the Rain to be too long.
There's no lyrics.
And if people don't like the intro, they can skip it. That's basically how it feels. So yeah,
Okay.
That makes sense,
all.
actually.
that's all I have to say. Because I never listen to it. I always just listen to Here Comes the Rain. Because I like sometimes I'll play the intro, but it's really rare because I don't care for it.
Makes sense.
Sometimes it's fun to listen to, but yeah. Yeah, but Here Comes the Rain is better. So Aiden.
Oh shoot! That's what I think when this song comes on. Oh my gosh! Forget about the Beatles. Here Comes the Sun. This song's infinitely better.
I agree.
This song sounds to me like it would be at the end of a musical, and the whole album kind of is primarily sad, and it's almost like the album takes you through this journey of being sad, like Beth was saying, with like how he's going
yeah.
through
Life
stuff,
stuff.
and then it gets to this song, and that rain is usually like, oh, rain, rain, go away, and
Go
it's
away,
just it's
go
depressing because there's rain, and nobody likes the rain. But nope, I love that it takes dreary rain and makes it optimistic, looking at it through a positive lens, which is a nice pickup to kind of move towards the end of the album with. I think it's just it's a good vibe. It's great.
Bethany?
This is my favorite song. I loved it.
That's
Your favorite song ever?
Of the album. Of the album. I really liked it. It reminded me like a musical. I wanted to listen to it again. I was kind of sad when it ended because it was so good. Love the intro. Very upbeat. Kept me going. It reminded me of Romeo and Juliet. Have you guys seen that movie with the gnomes? Yeah, I just had this whimsical, fun feel to it, like love and
Elton John.
yeah.
actually you're right. I was
Thank you. Yeah.
He
Loved
did the
it.
soundtrack.
Loved it. Definitely
Hey.
felt like a musical.
It's a little bit funny.
There's pesticide. It's from the movie. That's how he sings it.
Well, he
Thank
says it's a little bit runny. Yeah.
Good
Anyways, actually, I'm gonna keep these on. You're next. Am I next? Or you next?
song. Yeah.
You don't have to always go last, you know.
You're wearing the glasses. You should go next.
You can go.
Okay.
I was just waiting for awkward silence.
Well, it came. I wrote back to groovy fun times. Because I feel like at the beginning of the album, it was like, it started off kind of sad, but then Alu Gobi was like kind of more upbeat, and then Grapes of Wrath was really fun. And so there was like some more funness, and then I felt like it got sad and kind of stayed sad for a while. And then Here Comes the Rain was like, oh, it's happy again. And then it's like, cool. And it's funny that you brought up the Beatles because the song reminds me of the Beatles. And they probably took inspiration from them as well, since it's like a counter to Here Comes the Sun, Here Comes the Rain.
I'm pretty sure he has inspiration rivers from them before too. So
Yeah, so it always makes me think of the Beatles. And you said Elton John, which is like kind of similar because it's similar era, and they're both from Britain, so same thing. They're both rock, so similarities, yeah. And it's a fun, like there's lots of piano, and I like piano, so it's a good one. It's one of the best ones I'd say on the album, for sure.
yeah, it's very upbeat and catchy. Love the verses. It's so happy and upbeat, and the lyrics are so fun. Yeah.
Can I, before we go to the next song, I actually want to say too that he says that his umbrella makes him look like the Morton girl, which is I think a girl in a raincoat on some logo for some company, something Morton. I can't remember exactly. But
Morton?
No, not quite. But he doesn't look like the Morton girl, I don't think.
Probably not.
It's kind of
Is
a
she
weird
wearing
look.
yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it off of?
I don't know. I can't
Is
remember.
it sunscreen?
I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
I'm looking it up right now.
I don't have a
Me
phone,
too.
so.
Morton girl.
Dun dun dun.
Does
Morton
it,
Salt.
salt? Does it look like rivers?
Not sunscreen.
No, it doesn't at all.
Oh.
It's like a blonde girl
The
in
yellow
a yellow
raincoat.
skirt.
No
It's
raincoat?
not even a raincoat. It's
It's a
like
raincoat.
a dress.
It's a dress.
She doesn't even have a hood.
She's not sinking La Brea Tar Pits.
She's wearing.
Ooh.
That was so good. Wow. That's
She's
good.
spilling salt on the ground. Interesting.
All right, Aiden. Since you're waiting,
Cool. I think this is a fun end to the album. This is probably the other most underrated song on the album because it is actually
Amen.
a pretty good song. It's not as upbeat, but it is a little bit fun. It's like obviously the lyrics are kind of supposed to be like caveman era, and he's metaphorically saying that like he's sinking, like in life. So like the lyrics are positive kind of, but they're also like sad. It's kind of like he's come to this realization of how sad his life is. So it's like he's taking the album, all the sadness of it, and wrapping it up by acknowledging that he is sinking in life, but he doesn't want to just die and give up. He's simply asking for help in this song because he doesn't want to just give up and sink because there's so much to give still. So I think it's a nice little message to end off the album that continues, that ends it off on a good note.
you know what La Brea Tar Pits is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing.
I don't know what that means.
It's an oil.
Oh.
It's a certain oil. Yeah.
Tar.
Okay.
It's a
Whatever.
literal place. It's a place.
Well, it's tons
Sounds
of.
like a moat to me. Like a moat or a ditch. Yeah, honestly, it did feel the same way to me too. I felt like he was at the end of his life and he had a lot of regrets, and he was looking back and wishing he could make it better. But he did have a lot of musicality ups and downs to it, which I really enjoyed listening, and it kind of got me like, oh, it was really good. I liked it. It was good. Yeah, 2 thumbs up for me. Good way to end.
Stephen.
Okay. I do not care for this song very much. It just sounds weird to me musically. It almost sounds like it should be in a Toy Story movie. Like that's the vibes it gave me.
Oh,
That's very interesting.
yeah. That's really interesting.
What an odd thing to say.
Well, listen to it again and you'll see what I mean.
I don't.
I mean, nobody.
And I've heard it more than you.
You'll see what I mean.
All right.
No, I won't.
But yeah, this song seems like he's just talking about being depressed. Because depression often feels like you're sinking and like you can't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. And I do like that he's asking for help in the song. He keeps asking for someone to throw him a rope. But I don't like that there's no response. And it's like, is anyone there? Is anyone going to help him? It's unclear. And so it just feels really like sad and like he's going to die. Because like generally that's what happens to anyone and anything that gets stuck in the La Brea Tar Pits. There's no survival. So yeah, not my favorite one.
So I like this one, of course. I love the drums as well, of course. And I love the style of the song. You don't, though. I think it's a really good closer for this album. In my opinion, I feel like it's like, it's almost like instead of an upbeat song at the end, it kind of like fades it down. Kind of makes it more slower, and I don't want to say boring, but it kind of gets your attention away a little bit just to fade down. I don't know. That's what I thought of it. Yeah. So we will move on to our our views or our ratings. Sorry. Aiden, would you like to start?
All right, my overall album thoughts and review on a scale of 1 to 5. Really solid album. None of the songs are bad, but a few have parts that aren't that great and or are a little bit sloppy. But I love the vibe of it being like a musical start to finish, and like being all orchestral. It's really, really different for Weezer. It's not like any of their other albums, except for in tone it's similar to Pinkerton, but not nearly as depressing. So I give it 4.1 out of 5.
Steven?
I love the music throughout this whole album. It's one of my favorite Weezer albums. It's it's unique, just in its sound. Yeah, I really enjoy listening to it. Like, all the songs, even the ones that I don't care for as much, are like, I don't hate them. I still listen to them and enjoy them. So it's really, like, I would say almost a perfect album. But slightly less than perfect. So maybe a 4.7.
Can I say my review with the glasses on?
Yes,
Which
but
ones?
you're going to go last so that it's a surprise.
And you have to tell us what your
Surprise.
favorite, or I guess you said what your favorite song is.
Okay. All the songs fade into the next one, which I really like. The only other album that has done that is Black. For some songs. It's like the first A side of it. And I like how this one does it the entire time. This album is so good for listening through the entire thing and not just one or two songs. I feel like it's really enjoyable listening through the entire thing. Also, I feel like I have this thing where certain albums are better for certain seasons, and I feel like this is an all season around album. And yeah, I mean, I was listening through this through winter where I was depressed, so this really was like one of my top highlights. So that's why I like the album even more. So I'm gonna have to give it a straight 5 because it's like my third favorite album by Weezer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good overall thoughts.
Your turn now.
My turn. As a special guest, which I'm very honored to be, thank you very much for entrusting me with this opportunity. Overall, what I loved most about this album, besides the musicality of it, was he really took you on a journey. I felt like I knew him personally. I felt like I walked through him through his really high season and his really low season. I felt like I experienced every emotion possible with him, and that really made me connect it even more. And the way that he wrote some of the lyrics, I really had a big picture of him going through every single life. So of him questioning life and then getting married, his wife was upstairs, midlife crisis, and, you know, like, what is life? You know, the last song reminded me as if all of his kids had grown up, and he's like, what do I do now? So it really gave me a big circle effect. Musicality wise, honestly, loved every transition. It was the best part. First time hearing this album for the first time was amazing. I loved it. Overall, though, only because there was a couple of songs that I obviously didn't like very much, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Not
But
bad.
honestly, you have to listen to it in one sitting,
It's better that way.
and it's better with salt and vinegar chips. So thank you, Aiden. Shout out for supplying me with snacks.
You're very welcome.
If you sponsor us, that'd be great.
Yeah, they were Lay's.
Yeah,
They were Lay's.
fantastic.
Please do it.
Sponsor us, please. Sponsor.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's better with Lay's. Everything is better with Lay's. Oh, that's every kiss begins again.
And Rivers, we're still waiting for that sponsor.
It's a Julian song. A Julian
Also,
song?
Dr. Swatch too.
The K song.
Thank you for watching. This has been
WEEZCAST. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
missed
Do
it.
it.
Weez.
Wait, you gotta just say that.
Thank you for coming out and watching us. This has been WEEZCAST.
There we go.
Thanks for tuning in. First try.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Now I can finally stop saying okay human.